Hi, it's Asha with Birth of Your Life. Welcome to 2012. I wanted to talk a little bit today about intentions, how to set them, and how to really make sure that you have the kind of year that you really want to experience, and that it's not really just limited to this year, but that it really coincides with the kind of progress and the kind of growth and experience that you want to have in this world. So, taking advantage of the beginning of a new year has such a sweet energy where us as a collective are really focused on what our true heart's desires are, or at least what we think our true heart's desires are. It's this energy of new beginnings, this energy of taking a look at what we have experienced in the past year and really making this ceremonial, almost ceremonial stance of saying, now I mark a new beginning. And some people may experience a rebirth or a shedding of the old of the past year, and really being open to new possibilities, opportunities, and all the things that we really yearn to experience as human beings. So some people decide that they want to do New Year's resolutions. Some people set intentions. And some of us have just a theme for the year, where you can even break it down to one word that truly describes the essence of what you want to experience this year, what you really feel called to be a part of this year. So I invite you to kind of start there, to really try to get at the essence, at the core of what you want to experience and how you want to be living for this next year. And something that, you also want to choose something that is very much in alignment with your own personal, spiritual, and career even goals for yourself. The things that you can think of this year as a stepping stone into the journey, into the path that you flow into. So I've heard a lot of conversations, and I've been involved in a lot of conversations about intentions. And a lot of people in the law of attraction, or who follow Abraham Hicks, or any of these manifesting things into our material world, a lot of the conversation around here, there's some questions or some confusion even, or trial and error of what really, really works. Now, I want to share with you what I've seen really, really works, and what I experience as the most powerful way in this moment in time, in our consciousness and in our planet, of how we can really utilize our mind, our heart, and our deep desire to want to participate in what's sweet in life. So again, you hear people say, okay, set an intention and then let it go. And so, if you kind of think about that, there's a lot of intentions that we set, and some of which aren't really completely in alignment. So, you may have a moment to moment intention. And so how do you really know, or how can you really try to, how do you really focus in on the intentions that really kind of stick, right? So you can continue to intend for the entire year, and then you never really have that letting go piece. And just to give you an example, I know of a woman who had a child and wanted to have a second child, and just, this energy of like really trying and doing everything she could to make this happen. And, just everything around her life and in her consciousness revolved around this desire that she had and that her family had. And it was very sweet. And, everyone would look at that intention and say, that's a great thing to want. And for a few years, she tried to get pregnant and couldn't. And then she said that when she started giving away all the baby clothes, when she started just letting go of, this is not going to happen, or she just let it go. It's almost like it's not quite a giving up, but it's really a surrender. And she just gave everything away. And she said, as soon as I did that, I was pregnant. And I kind of think of it as almost like, pumping, like if you're pumping a well and, you kind of have that movement of pumping, pumping, pumping. And then when you kind of release is when the water comes out. And that's sort of the metaphor that I'd love for you to kind of put on as you think about intentions, or even think of yourself as a magnet, right? We're magnetizing experiences into our lives, or we're magnetizing intentions and materializing these intentions into our lives. So if you want to think of a magnet, the magnet needs to be strong enough. Your intention needs to be strong enough and founded enough and present enough so that you can release this, and so that you have a resonance of this vibration of the essence of what you're really seeking, right? So you really set this intention. So how do you do this? How do you magnetize yourself, and how do you make yourself really hold the resonance of it? And for how long do you do it? And I'm not going to necessarily say that there's a specific time or that there's a specific way, but I will say that you will know when you are holding the resonance of this essence that you wish to bring to yourself. And so as you begin to try on this intention, and it can be, so one suggestion of how you can do this is a simple technique of, maybe right before you're going to sleep, of just meditating on that this is your deep desire, and really opening yourself up to yourself and the universe and people in your life that could help you in coming closer to this essence. It can be that you set the intention that, I'm going to do these 3 activities for this year that really bring the resonance of what I want to experience. So it could be, let's say you take 3 classes in the first 3 months of the year that really bring you the resonance of this, this essence, whatever this essence is, or you make 3 choices that really bring you to that resonance. And then you let it go. Let it go in a way that you deeply trust and know that the universe is taking care of you, or God is really taking care of you. And whether this essence shows up in the way that you imagine it or not, I'm almost going to guarantee that you will be given what you are asked. That essence really shows up for you in a way that really opens up your heart and really lets you see that you are maybe already experiencing it right now, and you will be getting opportunities and choices that bring you closer to this intention. And sometimes not really knowing. And, as an example, for me, last year, my theme was balance and community. And I've moved, and I'm humbled and just so grateful for the kind of community that I have attracted. And in terms of balance, my life has taken, turns left and right that have really brought this sweet balance, but almost this knowing that balance is a moving target. We never really quite achieve balance, and in a sustainable lifelong way as we think of balance. Balance is as you move, and you can think of as you're walking the tightrope. Balance means something different at every step. And so what really has brought me, it's not so much that, I feel like my life is completely balanced, is that what that intention brought me is the awareness that moment to moment I am to stay awake. And that is how I can achieve balance at every moment in time. I may not choose balance at every moment in time, but that setting that intention has brought me that essence that I was looking for, but I really didn't know. I didn't have the wisdom or the knowledge to know what balance really meant. So for you, it may mean that there's something that your heart is yearning for. And so set that intention, set that theme for yourself, and find ways where you remind yourself of this, but you're not grasping onto it in a way that brings you suffering. And that's really what we want to try to avoid as you set these intentions, is not have the suffering of, you say you have this intention of having more financial wealth or having more peace at home. And so every time that you look at your home, or you look at, you have a really crappy night, you move into suffering because you're not having what you want. And so you want to try to remind yourself in a way that is supportive to you. So maybe having a chant or a mantra or a picture or a painting that reminds you of peace, or a painting that reminds you of wealth. Something that really grounds you in this intention, but not in a way that it will bring you suffering, and therefore never really having that space of letting go and surrendering it. So that's my wish for you in this new year, in this new beginning, that you set an intention for just a theme, and that you know when you have built the resonance for it, and maybe the resonance gets built in 1 week, and you feel like, I am full with this resonance. I know what it feels like. I know what I look like. I know what this really feels like, and I can sense it all around me. And I'm starting to now notice how this is showing up in my life in little ways. And now I let it go. So that's going to be the trick for you, is staying awake for when you've built up the resonance, and then now it's time to let it go. So I wish you the most incredible, most authentic, most compassionate, most real, and most fulfilling 2012. Blessings. I am Asha with Birth of Your Life.